I am a Mocha Mom, and I am back to answer a question from Ivemovedon. She wants to know whether or not any of my kids regressed at the birth of a new sibling. Yes, girl, yes. My worst experience with this was with HMG. She's 4 years older than her younger sister. I had a hard time conceiving MG3. And then when I was pregnant with her, I was really sick and got kind of caught up in that and didn't spend a whole lot of time preparing her for the birth. And then once she came, I had this mentality that, oh, she's little, the infant needs me, and I was constantly making HMG wait while I tended to the baby. So HMG became very clingy. She was fully potty trained at 4, but she started having all these bedwetting accidents. She was really in a conflictual relationship with her siblings. She asked me if I could take her back to the hospital. She didn't want her anymore. And then to make matters worse, I needed more space for the baby, so I decided I was going to move HMG to a bigger room so that I could put the baby in the other room. And so she felt like she was giving up her room for her sibling that she doesn't want there, and that caused even more problems. And so I didn't manage it well. With the other siblings, though, I've taken proactive measures to avoid the same problem, and I think I've been successful with that. When I'm pregnant with them, I always read stories and talk about the fact that a new sibling is coming in and how things are going to change in the house. But the focus is, now you're going to be a big sister. Now you're going to be a big brother. This is how you're going to be able to help. And unlike how I did with MG3, where, you know, only I changed the diaper, only I touched her things, only I, and you're too little, you're messing that up. And I start on the day that they come visit me after the baby is born in the hospital. On that day, my husband usually brings all the siblings in, and I always let the youngest sibling hold the newborn first. And everybody crowds around and talks about, well, wow, now you're the big sister. Before, you were the little sister, but now you're the big sister. And that's a big deal. And we take a picture. I have pictures of all the younger siblings holding the newborn. And when we actually bring the baby home, I realize that while it's an infant that's helpless and needs a lot of my help, the younger kid right before the infant really is the one that I need to be sensitive to. If both of them want me, and I can tend to the newborn and put the newborn down and turn my attention to the older one that's aware and remembering every single thing that's happening, that's what I need to do. And that was a huge mind shift for me, because I felt like, no, it's the infant that needs me more than anything. The infant needs to be fed, they need to be loved, they need to be cared for, but they're not remembering a lot of this. Your 3-year-old, your 4-year-old is remembering and learning and making assumptions about everything that's going on around them right then. So another thing I would do is honor their special times, honor their story times, honor their bath time routine, honor just me and that kid time where the baby is nowhere, the newborn is nowhere to be found. Maybe dad is watching the newborn. Maybe I have grandma holding the newborn and watching the newborn. Maybe I wait till the newborn is taking a nap. But I carve out a time every day that's just their own, that's just about them, and has nothing to do with the newborn. And then it's really just a process of creating a new normal for the family. That's something else I talk to my kids about. Things are not going back to normal once the baby gets here. We're all going to have a new normal. The main thing is, you don't want your older sibling to feel like a new family member has come and taken anything that was uniquely theirs before the child got here. You want to include your younger sibling in things like changing the diaper. They can hand you things. They can pass you the wipe. They can get you a plastic bag to put the dirty diaper in. They can rub gently rub the lotion on the baby. I would have special times when the older child would be holding the baby with me having my arm as reinforcement under the baby, and then always making a big deal about, wow, you're doing such a good job. Look at how you're holding your little brother. Look at how you're holding your little sister. You're helping me so much. I am so glad you're doing this. You're helping mommy so much. You know, praising them about every little thing they do to help. Having them pick out a gift for the baby. Helping them go get a toy for the baby from the other room. You know, just, and there are many, many picture books that you could read to them about the baby getting into things, breaking things, changing things, where you could talk about their feelings of frustration and anger in a way that's not like you're putting them down because they're having feelings that are wrong. Some of it is natural, some of it is normal, but what you're teaching them is how to cope with what they're feeling in a way that's not going to hurt somebody else.